A pivotal year upcoming for Beamer Ball in Columbia, South Carolina. And these are 3 reasons why I believe the Gamecocks will be better in the 2024 college football season. Hello, everyone. I'm Chris Philips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on notifications. Check out our podcast wherever you get podcasts. You can also find us across all social media platforms as well as our website, secunfiltered.com. We're brought to you by our friends over at MyBookie. Guys, head over to mybookie.ag. Use promo code SECU at sign up to receive a special welcome offer on your first deposit. Again, that's mybookie.ag, promo code SECU to get your special welcome offer today. A pivotal season upcoming for South Carolina as year 4 of the Shane Beamer era approaches in Columbia. And these are 3 reasons why I believe that South Carolina could bounce back from a 5-7 year a season ago and be better in 2024. And guys, let's start with number 1, the very obvious. The running game takes a significant step forward. And there's a couple reasons why I believe this could and will happen for the Gamecocks this season. First off, guys, you look at the offensive line, an offensive line that it seems like this crew was never able to settle on a starting pattern. There's a number of reasons for that. Number 1, injuries. And the tone was set early last year. Jalen Nichols, arguably their best offensive lineman, goes down in the 2023 spring game. And it was like that set off some sort of seismic reaction, a chain reaction where this guy was injured, that guy was injured. You had guys with season-ending injuries. You had guys with week-to-week injuries, a game, 2, 3, whatever it might be. And that is obviously the death of any sort of continuity that could be possible for that group. You had freshmen step in like Big Tree Babalade and Trovon Bowe and Chadavius Shivers. And, while those guys are very talented, you don't want to be asking freshmen to take live bullets in the SEC. And you saw that, right, in games against Tennessee and others where they really, really struggled a season ago. The good news is this. Those guys have taken their licks, and they're officially back. The offensive line, number 1, can't be any worse. Number 2, cannot be as snake-bitten by injuries as they were a season ago. And number 3, has some talented football players coming back. So you should have a better offensive line. The other part of this equation is this, guys. The running back room last year for South Carolina was embarrassing. I mean, let's just call it for what it is, guys. It was pathetic, right? You had Division II transfer Mario Anderson starting. Outside of that, you really had nobody. It was actually DeCarrion Joyner who started last year, who was a converted quarterback to wide receiver to running back. I mean, they were trying to hold that thing together with duct tape. Maybe not even that. Scotch tape, however you want to phrase it. You bring in Rocket Sanders, the former Arkansas running back from the transfer portal. You bring in Oscar Attaway from North Texas. You bring in Jawarn Howell from South Carolina State, who the staff is very high on. Juju McDowell is also back for you as well. Dontavius Braswell is back for you as well. To say that the running back room is going to be better than it was last season, guys, is the biggest understatement of understatements ever made. So you couple those things together. The running game should, and I think it will, take a significant step forward, right? You have a young quarterback in Lenore Sellers. You don't want to have to ask him to do everything. And oh, by the way, that could be the third reason why the running game is better. You've got a dual threat quarterback that can assist in that department as well. Make life even tougher for defenses. Your quarterback can now be part of the running game, running read option. I would expect South Carolina to run read option with Lenore Sellers, to do different things, get him out of the pocket, to do different things in the running game. Also, you brought in Sean Elliott from Georgia State. The head coach of GSU was formerly on that South Carolina roster, or South Carolina coaching staff, And I know he's coaching tight ends, but you can bet he's going to be the running game coordinator, at least one of them, and is going to help in that aspect. So, guys, you combine all those things that I just mentioned, I think the running game is going to take a major step forward for South Carolina because it has to. They have to be better running the football. They know they have to be better, and I think they made moves over the course of the offseason to lead towards that result. And so I think the running game being improved taking a step forward. It should lead to significant improvement for that South Carolina offense and, in turn, this South Carolina football team. Guys, my second reason why I think South Carolina football will be better this season, to the other side of the football. You look at the Gamecocks defense, and it was a strange 2023 to say the very least, because when you looked at the returners they had last year, some of the talented pieces especially they had in that secondary, and then you look at the performance of the defense, the way they were shredded by North Carolina, by Tennessee, by Graham Mertz and the Florida Gators, by Brady Cook and Mizzou, virtually everyone, Will Rogers over at Mississippi State. I mean, virtually everyone had a big passing day against this South Carolina defense. Now, give credit to Clayton White and his staff. The transition from the 4-2-5 to the 3-3-5, it seemed to do wonders. But I think the biggest thing they did, guys, you look at it on paper. Oh, they lost Stone Blanton. They lost Pup Howard. They lost this guy or that guy. But I think South Carolina, when you look at who they brought in, the transfer from Pitt, Kyle Kennard from Georgia Tech, you look at some of these other guys, I think the second reason why they will be better, a far more athletic defense, I think it's going to lead to improved results. Guys, I think they got faster at linebacker. I think they got more athletic on the front, in the front four, right? You also have Tonka Hemingway and Boogie Huntley coming back for South Carolina. But I think in that front seven specifically, I think they got a lot more athletic, because while the secondary took the brunt of the blame last year early on, a lot of it was because you couldn't generate a pass rush, guys. You could not generate a pass rush to save your life. I think improving the athleticism should help in that regard, because it made no sense last year when you have guys like Nick Emanwari and DQ Smith in your back end and you're getting torched the way you are. It just did not make a lot of sense. So I think being more athletic in the front seven, I think having those bodies that you bought in from the transfer portal, I think is going to be huge. And I think they are going to lead to improved results for the defensive side. And at minimum, I think it's going to remove sort of the wild varying range of results we saw last year, where for the last third of the season, the defense was pretty solid. But that first 6 or 7 or 8 games, abysmal. I don't think you're going to see as wide a range of results as we saw a season ago. And guys, my third and final reason why I think South Carolina football will be better this season, simply put, Beamer ball ain't dead yet. And here's what I mean by that. When I say Beamer ball, guys, when I say that, it goes beyond special teams. I think Beamer ball, yes, special teams is what popularized it, but I think Beamer ball is just finding ways to win, making big plays to win, doing special things, whether it's in special teams, but if it's defense, it's offense, whatever it might be, making momentum shifting plays to win ball games. We did not see that for South Carolina a season ago. That kind of Beamer ball magic, or the mystique of Beamer ball, for whatever reason, it went away. And we saw a lot of it in the first 2 years, guys. Whether it was a pick six, it was a fumble recovery, it was a block punt, it was a kick return, it was a 50-50 ball that was one on the offensive side. Whatever it might be, we saw that. I find it very hard to believe that Shane Beamer, as fiery as he is and as badly as he wants to win for the University of South Carolina, and of course himself, but I think Shane Beamer really, truly does love being the head coach of the Gamecocks. I think that you can feel that positivity oozing out of that program. You can feel it. You can see it. I just find it hard to believe that this is it, right? That they're just going to lay over and die, and the Beamer ball era is going to go out in flames. I find that hard to believe, right? And the numbers even themselves out, right? That was the scary thing going into last year. You say, okay, you're winning a lot of games with special teams. At some point, this thing is going to turn, and all these good breaks you've been getting are going to go against you. That happened last year. Will it happen for a second year in a row, or do we see it start to turn back the other way? Does the ball bounce South Carolina's way yet again? Does Beamer ball show itself in sort of the magic and mystique of Beamer ball? Does that show itself? Going to be really interesting. And I think it will, guys. Again, I just don't see the Beamer Ball era completely going out in flames, I think the magic of Beamer Ball will find itself yet again. I think it's going to lead to improvement for South Carolina. So again, guys, the 3 reasons why I believe that South Carolina football will be better this season. Number 1, the running game takes a significant step forward. Number 2, a far more athletic defense leads to improved results. And number 3, Beamer Ball ain't dead yet. Guys, that's going to do it all for me. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Hit that bell icon as well so you get notifications of when we go live and when we drop new video content, which is each and every single day. Also, guys, check out the podcast, which drops daily: iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. You can also find us across all social media platforms, as well as our website, SECUnfiltered.com. Until next time, guys, I'm Chris Phillips of SEC Unfiltered. Appreciate each and every single one of you tuning in, and we'll catch you on the other side.